Hi, my name is Michael, and I wanted to give a quick tutorial on how we use Vieweet. So you can see on the screen here right now that I'm at the Vieweet homepage. So what I do here is I go to log in. Okay, and I'll come through now. My details should be pre-saved, so I'm just going to click on login. Now, this is the dashboard page. So the dashboard page will show you how many tours you have listed at the moment, how many panorama images you have uploaded also. But for the purpose of this, we really just want to click on the left-hand side, 360 tours. So this is where you'll see what you have kind of showing at the moment as far as your tours go, but we want to add a new tour. So the first thing we do is we click on New Virtual Tour. Then in this page here, we enter the property details. So let's call this one 1 Smooth Street, Collingwood. Now, you can put your description in here, which you would typically just copy from your property portal. You don't need to secure the access with a password unless it was case sensitive, unless it was sensitive and you didn't want the public to see everything on there. Now, this is another section here. You've got property information. If you're doing this in America, you can add your MLS ID in here, or if you're using in Australia or New Zealand, you can just use the reference number ID there and fill in the rest of the details. So I'm not going to fill any of that in at the moment for this property, but we'll hit validate, which will now open up the file. So the first thing you can do here is you can either open up the file by clicking select images, or you can drag and drop. So what I'm going to do here is I've just got a simple studio apartment. So I'm going to put 3 images. I'm going to drag them and drop them right here. So you can see in just a moment, it's going to start processing that it has recognized it. There we go. And you'll see here, you've got the 3 different start and you've got the cancel on the side. All I do here is once all the photos are loaded there, I press start upload. Whilst it's doing that, I go and select the camera lens. So I've used the Ryko Theta in this instance. So I'll just scroll down to the Ryko Theta. Okay, great. Now, the reason why I do that is if you don't select the camera type, it may not know how it is to format the image. So this way, we're telling the platform that the Ryko Theta and each individual image is its own panorama. So now that they're all uploaded to the platform, I want to process the image. So I hit process image, and this will only take a matter of minutes, depending on how many photos you have to upload. Okay, so whilst we are just waiting on that, you'll see that the progression toolbar comes up, the green one saying it's 62% process for the blue. Again, there's only 3 images here, so it shouldn't take too long for it to process. So we just keep waiting for this. Once it's all loaded, this is how the photos will appear. So don't worry about the order of the photos. They're somewhat irrelevant at the moment. What we want to do, I guess, firstly is maybe have a look at renaming the image so that it's easy to understand. Now, bear in mind, if we're getting this video from a client, we will ask them to label the images before they send them to us, and that might be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. But if we do want to change it, we can change it in here by clicking on there and just typing in what the room it is. Now, it's a studio apartment, so this is a very simple property to do. All we need to do here is look at the first one, the links. Now, typically when we're doing a property, we will hot link the door so we can see through the window here, the glass window, that will take us out to the living and the bedroom. But what I'll do here is I'm just going to click on the middle of the door. Okay, and you'll see that white target comes up. Let's change the symbol. Typically, I go to navigation and I go to the first one, the arrow 3D. Now, depending on the colors of the business, we would use a color that is comparable that would suit them. So let's, in this instance, go with green. So I've just hit on the green button there, and it's going to say destination. Destination is typically always panorama. Now, that's going to take us through to this one ending in 487. Okay, that's the nearest to it. Now, the thing to note there also, and I'll bring it up on the next image, there's a number of options there. So it doesn't have to be a link. It can be a photo. It can take you to a video. It can take you to whatever that you need. So now that we've done a hot link there, that's fine. We'll go back to the other images. Okay, so we've got here, look at the room 486. I'll put the links on it. And you can add music to these tours. I found that when you add music to these tours, they are somewhat frustrating because it's on a loop and it can be quite annoying. So we haven't got the balcony shot for this one here. So we'll leave the balcony out of it. But this is the kitchen living area. So we want to put a hotspot back to the other area where the bedroom is. So you don't want to put the tags too high because they'll become confusing. You kind of want to just have it at around that shoulder height level. So again, we've chosen the location of it. Now we go navigation, choose the arrow, we choose the color and the panorama. Now again, we can add a photo, we can add a PDF, we can add a video, we can add a link. There's a number of things we can add there, but for this, we're just going to link it to another panorama, which is this one here, the 487. Okay, so that is now done. And we'll go to the last panorama, which was the 487, and I'll hit links again. Okay, now I'll just hit on there for the bathroom, so symbol. So what you can do for bathrooms, you can actually go to the real estate icon and just hit bathroom green and hit the actual bathroom room that it's for, and that'll help you identify that that's the bathroom. The other thing too is, I guess we're now in the bedroom area for this property. We want to send it to the living space. So again, we're choosing the symbol. I go navigation, the color, and I send it back down there. Now, what we've done is basically a really simple and fast tour. It's only taken a couple of minutes to do, but to actually look at it in its entirety, we just go back out to the screen. Actually, before I do that, I'll just take you back in. You would set the first initial image by the drop down. So I'm going to suggest that we use this image here as number one. So we'll select that as number one. That will then move the image to the pole position, number one. And then when we go out to my tours, we've got the property here. We just click on the greater than and less than icon. It'll give us a few options. So I always go full screen tour, and then I take this 360 alternate URL. So for the purpose of this, I'm just going to click on it now, and it will come up. Okay, so that's loading up now. So as you can see, we've got the tour there. I'm just on the desktop. I click on the spot there. Now it's going to take me through to the next room. As you can see, the hotspot is there again, and the bathroom hotspot is there again. So this is a relatively simple way of doing a really fast tour. Now, the other thing to note is, as you scroll down the bottom, you'll see the embedded code and the embedded code with play button, pop-up integration. You can put all these virtual tours directly on your website. So if you want to direct people back to your website, you just have to copy the URLs and the embedded code and direct them back there. So this is a really simple way of helping get the videos done on Vieweet. Naturally, if there are more photos, it will take you longer to do them than this. Now, as we come to the end, what we can do is we can add things to it like floor plan. So if we're provided with a floor plan, we can choose a file, upload the floor plan, and that will stay on the virtual tour the entire time. We can also add, change logos. So if we're doing this virtual tour for another client, we can add the logo just in here also. If anyone has any questions, please don't hesitate at all. Reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help.